Summary of The Mountain is You by Brianna Wiest. Have you ever done things you knew would hurt your goals or health? Maybe you've sabotaged a job interview or a relationship without realizing it. To overcome this obstacle, you have to find, understand, and get rid of the things you do that hold you back. And that's what we are going to do in today's video. We'll explain the idea of self-sabotage, how to spot your self-sabotaging habits, and what you can do to beat them. So stick with us and watch this video to the end. What is self-sabotage? Self-sabotaging behaviors are just the ways your brain tries to protect you from your fears by making you avoid them. For instance, if you're afraid of being alone, you might try to get rid of that fear by staying in harmful situations. If you are afraid of failing, you can escape this fear by not looking for the jobs you really want. This makes you tend to create harmful fears when you don't have the mental or emotional skills necessary to handle tough situations. You can call emotional intelligence and mental power ME skills. For example, you might be afraid of being alone if you don't have the ME skills to meet your emotional needs on your own. If you don't have the ME skill of self-confidence, you might worry that you'll fail. If you don't have the ME skill of self-love and want outward approval, you may be scared of being hated. A lack of ME skills is usually caused by things in your life that keep you from learning those skills. For example, if your parents were never around and never showed you love or encouragement, you might not have learned ME skills like self-confidence and self-love. You then fear being in a similar situation in future partnerships. So the ways you try to get away from your fears are self-destructive because they slow you down in life. You use them as a crutch to avoid hard situations instead of learning the ME skills you need to deal with them, which you need to do to grow and reach your life's purpose. How to overcome self-sabotage. We'll take a look at 2 steps. The first one is identify your self-sabotaging habits and the ME flaws that they stem from. This will help you pinpoint the barriers preventing you from success. And second one is to overcome your self-sabotage behaviors by improving your ME skills, figuring out your life's purpose and your ideal self, and taking steps to reach these goals. Now let's explain these 2 steps in detail. Step 1. Figure out your self-sabotaging behaviors and their causes. You can figure out if you are self-sabotaging by thinking about all the things in your life that you don't like and want to change. Then, make a list of things you do that stop you from making those changes. Waste no more time. They are your self-sabotage behaviors. For example, let's say you don't like your job and want to become a writer, but you aren't getting anywhere because you haven't started looking for a writing job. This is a self-sabotaging behavior called procrastination. This practice might not reveal all of the ways you self-sabotage, so you also think about whether any of the following things happen to you often. If so, the actions that keep them going are usually ways to hurt yourself. 1. You don't have the drive to reach your goals or take care of your relationships. 2. You have relationships with people who make you feel bad. 3. You let other people or society tell you what to do and how to reach your goals. And lastly, you don't often meet people, learn things, or experience things that feel new. Add to your list the ways in which these themes are caused by self-sabotage behaviors. Then take responsibility for your self-sabotage by recognizing that you have the power to change your situation, even if that means losing relationships, jobs, or security, or changing the way you think or act. How to identify your mental-emotional deficiencies. To get rid of self-sabotaging habits, you have to figure out where they come from. First, look at each of the things on your list of ways you hurt yourself and ask yourself why you do them. Each why is one of your worries. For example, you might put off taking steps toward your goals because you're afraid of failing. Next, figure out where you're lacking in ME by linking each of your fears to a mental or emotional skill you need to get over it. For example, if you don't want to be afraid of failing, you need to have more faith in yourself. And lastly, you need to be able to think and act with confidence even if you don't feel confident. In other words, you need to fake it until you make it. Step 2. Improve your mental and emotional skills. Once you've found your self-sabotaging habits and the ME weaknesses that make them happen, you have to take action and sometimes painful steps to change them. First, you need to improve your ME skills by learning to trust your gut and to understand, process, and react to your feelings in a healthy way. Once you've improved your ME skills, you need to figure out who you want to be and what to do with your life. After that, you just have to take these actions to get there. Action 1. Listen to your gut and let go of your fears. You can stop your self-sabotage behaviors by listening to your gut, which is your natural sense of how to act, and telling it apart from your fears. This is because your self-sabotage behaviors are often based on your fears, while the things you do that help you are often based on your instincts. If you learn how to use your instincts, you can stop your self-sabotage behaviors and replace them with things that help you get better and move closer to your goals. Action 2. Understand and deal with your emotions. Well, the first step to correctly figuring out how you feel is to recognize and accept what you're feeling. For instance, if you're angry, you should admit it and let yourself feel it. If you try to hold back your feelings instead of letting them out, they will just build up, make you feel worse, and contribute to more self-sabotaging behaviors. Once you know why you're feeling a certain way, you can choose the best way to deal with it so you don't self-sabotage and instead do things that will make your life better. For example, if you are angry at someone, you can talk to them about it instead of acting badly and hurting your friendship. If you miss out on a job chance and feel bad about it, you can use that feeling to help you find other jobs that are similar to the one you missed. Action 3. Figure out and take steps toward your ideal life. You'll have the ME skills you need to become your ideal self and reach your life's purpose once you're able to stop self-sabotaging, follow your feelings, and deal with your emotions in a healthy way. In this process, there are 2 main steps. First, figure out what it is you want to do with your life and what kind of person you want to be. Second, make a set of rules that will guide your life and help you take the steps you need to reach your goal, and you're good to go. In conclusion, do not forget, the mountain is you. So it's up to you to climb to the top, overcome your doubts and fears, and achieve your goals. Now is the time for you to put what you've learned today to use. So we want to ask you, what's the one thing you're going to do differently from now on to stop self-sabotaging? Tell us in the comments section below. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.